foodbalanceclasses.com. I'm Tiaza here, and we're doing a video today about another belly talk. So in the last video, I did talk about, in general, like what you need to do to lose belly fat. We covered things about bloating, and I talked about foods that are really good for energy, for dancers, and so on. So as I covered these different topics, a lot of the emails and comments that I received were asking questions specifically about my diet, which is something I always try to avoid talking about because I am not everybody. I'm not somebody who subscribes right away, first of all, to like a particular diet. I'm not going to say, I'm paleo, I'm vegan, I'm this, I'm that. I don't like those labels, and I don't think they mean actually much, to be honest with you. And I don't think they are something to support as a movement in particular, unless you have other reasons besides obviously how your body feels to go one way or another. But because I believe every body is so different, and our genetics play a big role in what feels good to us, what our body processes better than other foods, and so on. And also, just our age makes a huge difference too sometimes, and our level of activity and a level of stress. There's so many factors involved to just be saying, well, this is the one way, that's the right way, and the other way is wrong. I'm not into that. But I want to talk to you about what I do. If you are curious, I'll tell you what I do and why I do it, simply. I'm 37 years old. I'll tell you my age. That's not an issue. But I think it's important to say that because our bodies and what we eat and how our body processes what we eat and how our body digests what we eat changes with age. So it's very important to mention that. My diet today was not my diet just 2 years ago, in fact, or 5 years ago. So I change consistently, and I don't change because I found a better diet. I don't talk like that. I don't think that way. I just think my body's in a different stage, and it likes something different, and it doesn't process certain things as it used to. And I pay attention to those signals, and I know what works for me and what doesn't, and I adjust things accordingly. That's basically all it is. So if you're in a different age group than I am, then maybe you are processing things differently. Maybe your body, does different things with your food that you consume that I don't understand at my age, or that maybe was a certain phase in the past for me. But today what I am definitely somebody who does not consume meat, but not like I'm completely anti-it. I definitely feel like for other reasons besides just my health, that consuming meat in general and animal products is really not a sustainable thing to do on the long term as a society as a whole. It's definitely not a very good thing for our environment, just period. And this is not an opinion, this is a fact. If you go out there and search and see what's going on in the animal production industry, it's outrageous. And so for me, I just feel like if I was in an environment where I had to, and that was my choice, I would consume animal products. I'm not like saying I would never put that in my body. I would if I had to. I would do it to be polite. If I get invited to someone's dinner and they serve meat on the table, I'll take a bite. So those kind of things. So I'm more of like a social meat eater, but again in moderation. And if I had to, and that was the only choice, I've never really been confronted with that situation in my life, but if that was a situation that came up, I would definitely do that. But in general, just to not maximize the damage that is caused by this industry, I prefer not to be part of it, to be honest with you. I feel also personally that I have other options and choices in life of other things I can consume that are not as damaging to the environment as the meat industry. So why not go with those? And then also the other reason for me is, honestly, my body just doesn't like meat. Like, I do not digest animal products in general very well. Like, out of all the foods out there, there's so many other foods that my body doesn't digest as well. Out of all those, the worst is by far meat products for me. Anything from dairy, animal products, meat, milks, cheeses, you name it. It sits like a brick in my belly, and I really cannot possibly digest it sometimes for 3 to 4 days, and it makes me feel sluggish, tired, and just feels awful. So I just don't go there. You know, it's just, why bother? You know, I've had enough meat in my life to know what it's like, so it's not like I'm missing out on something. So for several reasons, for me personally, I do not consume animal products. So that's the first thing. I definitely do not consume that. Second thing is, I'm a huge fan of fruits. I'm not a fruitarian by any means. It's just my body functions on carbs like you wouldn't believe it. Like if I consume a large amount of fruits, as being that's my number one source of energy, I thrive. I think better. I'm light. I move better. I just feel better, you know. It's hard to describe. It's just how it is, you know. I experimented with different ways of eating, and every time I eat lots of fruit, and I don't mean like I eat like, you know, those people that talk about 30 bananas a day. I don't do that. No, I'm tiny. I can't. What are you gonna fit 30 bananas in a day? Seriously? No. But like if I wake up in the morning and I feel sluggish, I need like some carbs to get me fueled up. Eating some fruits. It doesn't matter what it is. Any fruit for me works amazing. The high content of water, the high content of fiber, and the high content of sugar fuels me and keeps me light and keeps my digestive tract in an amazing shape. So that's what works for me. I don't know if it has anything to do with my Mediterranean background. I am originally from Morocco, and I know a lot of our digestive system has a lot to do with, and how it works has a lot to do with our genetics. So for me, it could have to do with that, and there's a lot of theories that we are built that way. I don't know, there's no scientific, you know, proof to that, but I'm just telling you what works for me. So what works for you is something you need to really, you know, follow, test on your body. You are unique in this world. And what works for you might not work for the majority of humans on the planet Earth. So don't listen to other people's ideas. So that's what I do personally. I do eat a lot of fruit for breakfast. I personally prefer not to eat much for breakfast. I'm somebody who wakes up, I love coffee. I'm not anti-coffee. But when I wake up in the morning, I have a cup of coffee, and that is about it. I do not consume coffee throughout the day. I'm not one of those people. A high amount of caffeine is not good for it. Makes my tummy feel like there's too much acid, and it just burns, and I don't feel good. So I never consume more than 1 cup of coffee in the morning. So yeah, I have a cup of coffee, and I usually just drink water. I don't like eating right after my coffee, so I'm somebody who usually waits about a good hour to 2 hours after before I consume a meal. And my first meal is always fruits. I love fruits. So like by the time, you know, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, I thrive on, you know, fruits. I need something that's just gonna raise my blood sugar up and give me more energy. So I eat fruit. And then lunch is usually when I eat lots of vegetables. So all kinds of vegetables. I honestly eat all kinds of vegetables. So, you know, whatever is in season is what I consume. I try to stay in season as much as possible. I love roasted vegetables. I love steamed. I thrive, die for steamed vegetables. I know some of you are like, what? I don't put too much sauces, seasoning, and things like that. I put some herbs sometimes in my veggies. But very little spices. Sometimes I have like 1 or 2 spices, but that's about it. Really light, just for flavoring. So that's usually my lunch, and it's usually my biggest meal. It's in the middle of the day. And then I try to really stay clean with a lot of water for the rest of the day. And then, you know, maybe towards the end of the day, I consume a large amount of fruit. Also, I mean, large amounts is probably an exaggeration, but I consume fruits because by then my blood sugar is low. I need more sugar because I'm moving in the evening, I'm doing things, sometimes I go for a workout. So I do eat more fruit at the end of the day. And I try not to eat in the evening. So my diet is really, really a plant light. It's a plant diet. It's a plant diet, if you want to call it that. It's a plant-based lifestyle. With high amount of veggies and fruit. Seriously. I don't believe in the whole like raw stuff. You know, some things, yes, they're better consumed raw because you're getting more nutrients. So, you know, some things I like raw, I eat them raw. If I don't like it raw, I'm cooking it. So I'm not like dedicated to one way. I do what works for me and what I like the taste of. I have to appreciate the taste of my food. And if it doesn't taste good to me, I'm not gonna eat it. So why fool myself? So I really enjoy my food. I really go for the taste. I really try to stay balanced. I'm not gonna say like all the things I said I don't eat are not things I don't eat. 100%, but I don't eat a pretty good 90% of the time, you know, and I leave that 10% for, you know, social events and special occasions and, you know, trying out new recipes. I teach a lot of cooking classes, so when I try those things out, I would consume that. So, you know, I'm open to that 10%, and I leave that to, you know, my freedom and, you know, let my taste buds enjoy the tastefulness of things that, you know, in a large amount would hurt my body, but in a small amount would be totally okay. So that's basically my diet, you know. When it comes to liquids and juicing, somebody mentioned that because I did, I think I posted something on my Instagram and this person was like, oh, are you a big juicer? No, I'm not. I'm just somebody who believes that I do need a higher amount of nutrients from my greens, but it is something that I am very honest with myself. I do not like to consume a large amount of greens. I love cooked vegetables, so I'm somebody who does not like cold salads very much. And so in order to get those nutrients from raw greens, I juice once in a while. So I don't juice very often. In fact, I do have kind of a routine of about 3 days a week. I know the days where I have the time to juice, and those are the days. So it's about 3 days a week. 3 days a week, yeah. I make a green juice, and I try to keep less fruit, more greens, and just a little bit of ginger, lemons, and things like that. And that usually is my drink that I would drink throughout the day. Not necessarily a breakfast. Sometimes it is if I'm really hungry or I needed something or I feel like it. I just go by how I feel every day. But I kind of learned that I have a certain routine to my body based on what I do, what I did the night before, what kind of workouts or activity I did, and what I'm going to be doing for the rest of the day. And I kind of plan my day that way based on those activities, what I'm going to eat and what I'm going to eat first or later. So I just plan the day as how it goes, and that's how I eat. I don't have an eating schedule. But in general, that's my diet. Plant-based, clean. Liquids are juices, water. Sometimes I'll make tinctures, excuse me, not tinctures, but I mean elixirs, where they're like basically warm drinks with herbs and roots and gingers and lemons. In the wintertime, those are amazing. I love them right now, this time of the year. But yeah, lots of water, and I'll make like lemon water, things like that. But I don't drink sodas, I don't drink sugary drinks. None of that garbage enters my body, to be honest with you. So it's very clean. I try to stay as clean as possible. I try to keep it plant-based as much as possible. Alcohol, somebody asked about that as well. You know, I drink a little bit here and there, but again, for me, it's very social, and it's very, like if I'm in an environment where, you know, there's wine tasting, there's lots of wine, or, you know, people celebrate with wine at the end, or champagne, or something like that. Yeah, I'll have a little bit. But for me, those are random occasions that really come up once in a while, and I enjoy them. I don't feel guilty. I enjoy them. I let them go. I enjoy what I eat or what I drink. But it's maybe like 3-4 times a year, to be honest with you, if that. Yeah, it's not much, you know. So the whole like drinking throughout the week, that would never happen to me. Or like going on a Saturday night binge, that would never go on with me. It just, you know, why? No, the price you pay later is just not worth it. Anyways, brief, I'll stop right here. I know this video is already so long, but that is my diet for those of you who are curious and been asking. This is what I eat, this is what I drink. It's really simple and clean. Some of you might think it's boring, but it really isn't, because for me, I still have that, you know, that 10% of my time when I enjoy other foods, and when I do, I really do enjoy them, and they are special because they come once in a while. So I treat myself, and actually all the foods that you probably think are boring, to me, they're amazing. I love them. So I might be weird that way. Maybe I'm the boring one, not my foods. But anyways, that's my diet. Let me know what you think. What's your diet? What you find that works best for you? To keep you healthy, to keep you energetic, to keep you light, to keep you feeling amazing and focused. Post your comments, share with other people. This is obviously a much bigger conversation than belly dancing, but we're all in a dance war, very aware of what we eat and what gives us energy, what makes us feel light, and what makes us feel like we could, you know, keep shaking our bodies the way we want to shake it. So let us know what you think and what works for you, and let's share. Let's start a conversation. I'll see you guys next time in another video of maybe another belly diet video. Take care. Bye.